Oh hi, it's there, and welcome back to another Dishwan Unboxes. I am Dishwan, and here we are unboxing more. Just doing this. Some more tech. As we are unboxing the Skyfire target drone, and more. Well, that's the most interesting bit. And the DJI Nero with 2 extra batteries and a dual charger. Those are small drones under the FFA classification. So you will need 2 things. You will need to go out there and go out there to the interwebs to get 2 things. One is a Trust Recreational UAS Unmanned Aerial something. Safety Test Trust Completion Certificate, or a FFA 109, I believe. I'll link in the description to a video that has pretty good advice on this. And it's the recreational exemption, or the recreational certificate. You cannot read that. Is allowing you to fly these drones without needing to do the real test. Pay $75 to $55 if you find yourself a course, and they're ones you discounted, like Fly Academy is what they're called, I think. Link in the description to what they really are called. And get your I got this from them, from their website. They use the official Trust servers to pump out one of these. The actual bit of importance on this that makes these, legal, not just a piece of paper, is what I'm covering up, the identification code. But as you can see on the left, it's just what is the main basis of the rules. Oh man, I used to record with manual focus. There we go. That gives you some of the things you need to understand in order to fly one of these small drones. And that's what gets me to the first topic of this video. Because I'm hiding it because I want to show you my identification code. Because, again, that's the only thing that matters on that piece of paper. But I need to discuss something with you, is because this is either a good or bad thing depending on your, depending on how you view the FAA. The FAA requires you to go get a test online. Thank goodness they're not like DMV. Where you gotta get a test in person, but get a test online in order to fly this thing. This $30, very much a toy, but it's a drone because it has smarts, you fly it. This was $30. I think their MSRP is around $60. I got it for $30 or $25 a long time ago, like a year ago. Because I was waiting to get a DJI Nero or some other drone to compare this with. This is just a little, target drone from your favorite science fiction franchise, Star Trek and/or Star Wars. And it's self-control like the Neo, or you can manual control it like the Neo. You can control it on your phone like the Neo, or like the Neo, you can push a little remote button that comes with, and it goes up. Whereas on the Neo, that's integrated into the drone. I don't know if it's integrated. This we'll see. And yeah, I'm actually kind of worried that it may not work with the fan, as you can see in the top of the video. But yeah, so and the thing that gets me is the FAA requires you, and also you need a CBO guideline to follow. I chose these guys because they seem most sensible. They seem most sensible in their requirements and more tuned in to drone life as opposed to RC plane / helicopter life. Yeah, by the way, drones are not. RC helicopters are nearly dead because the drones took over. And as you can see, there are, as you can see, that thick of a document, and about. Oh, I thought the page numbers, my bad. Over there, bad. Oh, I also have my specifications from DJI of the Neo. That don't have any, which I guess is against the law. No, it's against a suggestion that you should know the specifications of your drone, just like your aircraft. If you're flying a manned aircraft like a Cessna, you should know your specifications. And this I got from the DJI website. That was very nice. Again, the target drone has none. This target drone has no specifications, but yeah. So I effectively, which by the way, just as a newcomer to drones, I believe the battery time and the speed and the distance are your most, are what I suggest you look at the most, because that's just 15 pages just about for the CBO guidelines that you should memorize, or at least have this on hand if any questions come up on which guidelines you're following, which there are 4 that you could follow. I chose again FPV Freedom Coalition because they're most tuned into drone needs. Also, before you fly your drone, you should take a look around your airspace that you'd be flying the drone in. Like my room or outside of my house here in Orange Park, here in Jacksonville. And you need to look around, look up some FFA. FFA. I'll look in the description to the FFA site where you can look up your local. You can look up your local. You can look up your local airspace restrictions, and also you should look for any NOTAMs or notices of different changing airspace restrictions and notes. So yeah, like for example, military exercise or Air Force One will be coming at some time, so get out of its way. And that's one of the major, and that's the thing. That's the thing. There are, depending on your viewpoint, you either blame the drone makers, DJI, and these people, or Chinese factory. Actually, no, faction. They have a, they have a name. Let's give them their name, just the benefit of the doubt. Faction. They don't say you need these. All right, let's get this back out on top. Hold on. They don't say you need these to fly their products. Not on DJI's own website even, much less Amazon, but I would hope it would be on Amazon, but like having an actual having an actual walkie-talkie radio system, you can easily blow through the rules from the FCC using your walkie-talkie. Like, let's say you wanted to go to Disney and wanted to use one of those real walkie-talkies from Amazon, or use one of those real walkie-talkies from Amazon instead of just a 2-pack, because those aren't very good, and they're more expensive, I would think, than the walkie-talkies from Amazon. And you will blow past FCC regulations because you need a license for that. I personally think both are to blame, because I think having a the FAA regulation for people flying these things should exist, but not for these two. They're both toys. The Neo is very much a very, very insanely good drone for the money. For $200, you get a drone that has you get a drone with a ton of features, a good camera, and is it going to die instantly? Like, that thing will never die unless the components blow out or you really abuse it. But yeah, like, the Neo is by far the cheapest the best value for a DJI drone, if not best value for any drone, or at around at $199 for the little drone, based on what I've seen online. We'll see when we unbox these. But that's the thing. What if I was, little Timmy these days, and little Timmy wanted a little target drone, so it could be like, so you can do the training that Luke did in Star Wars: A New Hope. Little Timmy could get in trouble for flying this thing by the FAA if someone was being really bossy about drones. Let's say a more grumpy neighbor, or probably corrupt policeman. Or they were flying, let's say, in New York City. Anywhere in New York City, I'm pretty sure, has heavy restrictions on aircraft. And these are aircraft. Of course, they're not the same as a Predator drone, or Reaper drone, or a Global Hawk, or those drones, or that drone that flew over, New Jersey, or the drones being used in various wars across the globe, or in World War III right now, the secret World War III. You also know it as the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the Israel-Iran wars. And again, if little Timmy did his due diligence because he heard on the news one day that you need a registration or whatever, there are also people scamming those registrations. It's really a $5 small thing on FEA, which I don't think really which by the way you shouldn't get for a small drone, because you would need to add on top of it a transponder. Well, essentially what it is, I forgot the actual word for it. You would need to add on top a little transponder. Also, you would need to add on its tail number. Again, I don't know what I forgot what they actually call for drones. How's it going to work for this? How's it going to work for this? And also, it's really light, and if you add extra weight, it's not going to be light anymore. I would hope that DJI Nero will have a transponder built in, because that would lower the weight. So yeah. So before we unbox it, we have spent 12 minutes discussing what you should know before you get your hands on one of these. And again, what if I was my younger self, but Gen Alpha, Gen Alpha, and asked my grandparents for DJI Nero, or even just this little thing. I would not have at that time, going back to my own history, would not have known at that time that I would need these. Because I was too young to hear about the stories of drone registration just in the wild, of drone registration and guidelines. I would not know of the 109 or the 107 form or license that you need to fly this without if you want to use it commercially, which, for all intents and purposes, Green and Blue from this point on will be just a hobby. To be fair, I never made money. I only made around $300 on this over the course of over a decade of doing videos. So it's not a job. It's just I like referring to it that way. And again, we got this on. I got that on Prime. We got this a long time ago. Got this on Prime Day. It was a really good price. Almost the price for one. For this kit. The kit, probably a good word. For this kit/bundle deal. It was, I got Prime Day. We kind of overspent on Prime Day. Also, I got Switch too, because GameStop got more and decided to do a Donkey Kong bundle, and that just seemed really good to me. And I had the cash, so hopefully when that card hits, it will hit on a good month, so we can keep the cash in the bank, or not the bank, but in the bank of me, just cash. But anyway, so yeah, maybe I should leave this as its own video because I do need to go eat. I'm gonna get to the unboxing next video. I'll make this part series. Like this video is just sitting down and talking to you before what you need to fly one of these or buy one. You don't need to buy it, but you need to fly it. And then we got Unboxed to go over, some of the rules. I'm not great with. Don't trust that I say the rules correctly because that's not how my mouth works. I got that from my grandma. And yeah, like I said, if you're getting this for a gift, or like I said, getting this for a gift, do your due diligence. And this is just in the US in my area. And like I said, look around your house. Are there aircraft flying pretty low with their gear out? Like I see P-8s fly around all the time with their gear out and just flying them all routes. And just flying just a general patrol. But the P-8 Poseidon, which is a passenger aircraft that's been converted to a sub-hunter plane, they fly around here at 500 feet. So the lower ceiling for NSA jacks is 400, which is the max ceiling for you on this license, as your drone must fly under 400 feet. Can the Neo go that high? I doubt it. That guy won't. He won't. Maybe if you control him, he might, but I don't think either can go to 400, so I'm not concerned. And I got nothing reaching ground level or anything that I shouldn't fly over. However, you shouldn't fly over people. That is against the certificate. And guess what? I believe kids are already flying these over people without the certificate or the license. So yeah. So yeah, I mean like airsoft and Nerf. I do believe there should be just general safety suggestions and guidelines, and even not laws because it's Nerf or it's airsoft, but just general recommendations for best behavior. I don't think it should be a legal certificate you need to get because these aren't 18 plus. Anyone can go on Amazon, no matter the age or demographic, in the US and buy these. And they're cheap. Again, like I said, that's $20, or that's $25 to $30 to $60. That is $120 to, depending on if you get the road or not, $600. But by itself, it's some batteries, it's closer to $200 to $400 off sale. But the thing is, by itself, which is all you need, is $199. That's cheap. Because back when I was a kid, our family are upper middle class, so I was able to get $100 for Christmas, and I still do. To usually buy Lego. So it would have been a stretch, but the Prime Day sale was pretty good on this already, $140 or so. So I would have been able to buy that. Maybe I would have my pocket change, and the $100 from my grandparents to buy that. And I'll be honest, I would not have known to get these. Even with YouTube and everything we have in this era, I mean, with YouTube, even with YouTube, because not many people are sitting down in front of their audiences and saying, you need these to fly any drone. I don't know what the laws are for RC helicopters and RC planes. Those make more sense as they're less indoor friendly. Like if you just want to use the DJI Neo indoors, all you gotta do is follow the rule of don't fly over people, or near people in this instance, and you'll be fine. And also, you have battery and all that. And you'll be fine. But, the FFA does not make that clear that you don't need these to just fly around in your own room. Using it maybe as a second cameraman, for instance. But I just wanted to say that, you know, before we get on and have the fun of unboxing, have the fun of just flying around the room. They're flying around the room because my sister and her husband are here. I can't really use the living room, but we'll go there when the time comes. Because I want to do some aerial photography, maybe do my first sunrise and sunset for DeviantArt. That'll be nice. But yeah, no, like, yeah, you need a certificate, at least a certificate, and a copy of your guidelines that you're going after in order to fly even this guy. Oh, and we'll be hitting him with the Dart XL because I know it works because Wilcom 7 was it, you know, used his Nerf XL dart. You know, you use this Nerf XL dart, or Mega XL dart, that's what I was basing, Mega XL dart, with a sniper rifle or sniper blaster that does like 200 FPS. It's good enough for 100, 200 feet. Make that like 50 meters or so. Not 50, 30 meters. I know the conversion, I'm just not the best at math. But he shot it indoors around, you know, he shot it indoors around 10 feet, and it was fine. You know, so, you know, as long as you don't abuse it by crashing it into things, or putting stuff in the propellers or anything, it will be fine. And again, there's no shit, you just get another one. I wouldn't use it with Joe because of, you know, the cage. It would be best for Nerf. Just standard Nerf darts. Airsoft, no way. Airsoft will go clean through it. Break it. Yeah. So that'll be the first video. Thanks for watching. Sorry we didn't get you on the unboxing, but we will. Today I just haven't been out of it since my colonoscopy because I have Crohn's colitis. I just haven't been out. I just been out of it today. I really wanted to unbox these, but now I'm gonna eat some chicken legs because my grandma baked them for put into bake for the last few hours, and now they're just sitting there cooling because I sat down to record. I sat down to record with my old camera, my old Canon, which you're watching this on, because I can't use my phone because I need my phone to do that and do that. So yeah, I'll go eat, and now you know what to. And now you know what research you need to do in order to fly even that thing. Oh, and also, apparently there are $10 FPF drones on Temu that I would also need these things. Yeah, like drones are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper in the U.S. market. And I don't think the FFA can control it all because they're not forcing them to put in the package. You need this and that. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I guess see you.